it's Amanda from AmandaReads, and today I'm coming to you with my October wrap-up. Now, October was actually a really great reading month for me, and I didn't go into the month knowing that it would be. I think part of this reason was not having a set TBR, which I haven't had a set TBR for a few months now, and I think it's really been more of a motivator because I can pick up whatever I'm feeling like reading rather than feeling super obligated to pick a specific book or series up. The first book I finished was Onyx, which is the second book in the Lux series. It's the second book in the bind up I have of Obsidian and Onyx. And I had started reading this in September and then finished it in one of the first few days of October, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. My review on Goodreads just says that it really sucked me in, and I knew who the sketchy people were going to be as soon as they were introduced as characters, but the depths of the twists were not something that I had anticipated. So even though I knew that someone was going to be sketchy, I didn't know how involved in the situation and what their relationships were to other characters. I didn't even anticipate that. So it really kind of hurt my brain a little bit when I was reading this, because it was just like mind-blowing event after mind-blowing event, and I was like actually emotionally exhausted. And I bawled my eyes out, so I really needed like a break emotionally and mentally. So I have not yet picked up the next book. I'm going to, but I just couldn't. I was trying to get away from this series, so I picked up a standalone novel that I got in a book haul a while ago, I think. I've definitely had it for a few months, and that is Trouble by Non Pratt. I absolutely fell in love with this story. It's pretty quick paced. I mean, it's like an entire pregnancy in this short amount of pages. This book centers around 2 teenagers. The girl is named Hannah and the boy is named Aaron. Hannah finds herself pregnant and she doesn't want anyone to know who the father is, and she doesn't want to deal with the fact that she's pregnant. She meets this boy named Aaron who she has no prior friendship with. He's new to her town and he randomly says that he will agree to be the father of her baby. He will be the person she can say is the father. And it caused a lot of drama. His dad is a teacher at the school that they go to. There's a lot of different family dynamics and character development that goes on here. It's a pretty short book, but I absolutely loved it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Next up I read We Were Liars by E. Lockhart, and I got this book in September, showed it on my book outlet unboxing haul, and I just decided I really wanted to read it, and I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. I was really interested in reading other people's reviews on Goodreads, and there were a lot of negative reviews for this book, and I kind of get it. It kind of hits you like bam at the end of this book, and I was just sitting on my couch like uncontrollably sobbing. I cried a lot this month of books. It happened. So even though I was pretty hesitant about reading series, I decided to pick up The Face on the Milk Carton by Carolyn Cooney. Super short, that's why I picked it up. I read it in like an hour, and I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. Here's my problem with this. It could have been a standalone. I'm not sure I get the whole 5-book series, because then I read Whatever Happened to Janie, and this book was just a lot of whining. However, I did like this book more than the first book. So the first book, it's a girl named Janie, and she's eating lunch with her friends at school, and she looks at the face of the missing kid on a milk carton, and she's like, that's me. And no one believes her, and no one takes her seriously, and so she's like, holy crap, I am a missing child. Obviously, she finds out that yes, she was a missing child, but it's a lot more complicated than that. So that's why that's not spoily. So I liked the idea of the story. That's why I gave it 3.5 out of 5. In the second book, she is reunited with her real family. That entire book, the second book, is like her conflict with like not wanting to be with this new family, like wanting to be with her other family, and just like struggling both sides. It's extremely like whiny but it's believable. I think I just got sick of her. Like, looking back, I'm annoyed with the book, but when I was reading it, I was fine with it. Then I read and listened to the next 3 books in the series of Unfortunate Events series. First one was The Austere Academy, and that's the 5th book. So in this book, we are introduced to some new characters called the Quagmire triplets, and I loved them. The Austere Academy was just a really good addition to the series. So really quick, basic overview. The Baudelaire orphans are sent off to a boarding school because no one wants to take them in. There's like no one left, there's no weird family members left to take custody of them, so they just decide to ship them off to boarding school. And while they're at the boarding school, like, crazy things happen. Like, the headmaster's crazy. He makes the baby like be his secretary and work for him. They all have to live in this weird shed shack thing where there's crabs everywhere. There's a mean girl, and then you like have to eat with your hands tied behind your back if you misbehave. And their teachers are weird, but I think they end up being sensible. I kind of forget, but I really liked it. I like anything that takes place in a school, so I think I was just kind of biased towards this one. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and I like that it was more realistic than the other ones had been. And then the next one was the Ersatz Elevator, which is the 6th book, and I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. And I really liked it because it focused mainly on the plans and strategies of the Baudelaires and less about the backstories and environment that they were in. It was more about their thinking, and they were really leading the story. Now, the next book in this series was The Vile Village, so that's book number 7, and I actually listened to this on audiobook. It took me about a few hours to listen to the audiobook. I listened to it in 1.5 days, I think. Pretty much during any time I was doing anything that didn't really require silence. So I was listening to it, and I did like this installment of the series. And the Quagmires were in it again. I don't want to spoil anything. I really liked the ending, and I'm interested to see where the next installment is going to be taking them. Finally, I picked up and read Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery, and I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. I absolutely loved this. I give this book 5 out of 5 stars. I grew up watching the movies, and I have all 3 on DVD, and I loved Anne as a character. Reading this book was like watching the movies, and it was like being reacquainted with an old friend. It was amazing. My review for this book says, I didn't want to rush through this book for fear of missing even the most minute of details. This book was truly captivating, and every scene played out the movie in my head as clear as day. I fell in love with the characters over and over again with each chapter. Fun fact, I don't think I would have liked the book if I hadn't seen the movie first. So I couldn't see myself reading this book and staying as entertained if I didn't have a picture in my head of who the characters were and what it looked like in the movie. I honestly feel like the characters and the actors that portrayed them were perfectly cast. I know there's a whole Anne of Green Gables series, but I really don't think I want to get into it. I was looking through all the synopses of the other books, and I think it's just like too far. Probably won't continue on with the series. I'm really content with the ending that the first book gives. Now, back at the beginning of this video, I mentioned that I had actually read 9.5 books, and that's because I picked up this little book a couple days ago thinking, just read it really fast, get another book in there, get a 10th book in the month of October, it'll be fine. So I picked this up, and I've been like reading it at my leisure, like before bed, and I read a lot when I read it because the chapters are only like 3-4 pages. But I just got so busy that I couldn't even finish this book, and I'm like ashamed, even though it's okay, it's not the end of the world, but I'm a little bit ashamed of it. So that is The Adventures of the Wishing Chair by Enid Blyton, and you can see this is minuscule. Like, there's barely pages. Like, I could read this in 20 minutes if I wanted to. So I got to page 108, chapter 16, The Silly Boy, and there are only 185 pages. So I have about 80 pages left, and I could definitely have read this, but I just got really busy, and then in my free time this week, all I could do is sleep. So this is definitely a book that I will be reading in November. Finishing it will count for November. I can't believe I've been on BookTube since January like 14th or something crazy like that. It does not feel that long. And I know I haven't been so great at posting videos. It's just been really busy, and I'm trying my best. This is really the best I can do right now, but I always check my email. So you can email me at amandareads320@gmail.com. It's in the down bar, and we can talk about books. You can tell me any ones you've read. Like, I will respond to that. It's just the posting of videos is not always super easy. Thank you to anyone that has subscribed to my channel. I really like to watch your videos if you make videos. I really like to talk to you. So I just want to say thank you for everyone being so supportive and positive. This has just really been a great added element to my life. And if you're thinking of doing a BookTube channel, you really should. It's just a really nice way to communicate with people that you normally would never get to meet in real life. If you're interested in making a BookTube channel, I really think you should, and let me know because I would love to see your videos. So that's all I have for you today, guys. Thanks for watching. I know it's different lighting and I'm in a different place. My camera ran out of battery. So thank you for watching, and I hope you're having a great reading month, and I will see you soon with another video. So bye, guys.